Good evening, everyone. Here we are, Tuesday evening, the Heal with Gwenda show. Do love my Tuesday evenings. And you'll notice if you're a regular with me that I'm in somewhere a little bit different. Oh, good evening and thank you for the hearts. Hi, Katie B. Lovely to have you here this evening and everyone else that's popping in. Thank you so much for coming in this evening. I am not in my usual place, so it's a little bit awkward and we might have some interruption with some dogs barking, so I apologise for that and hope that Spirit will keep them busy in the yard, keep them busy playing quietly. Who knows? LeGray, good evening to you. Nice to see you. Jody Marie, hello. Oh, Jody Marie, your tea is on the way. Hi, Kerry Addison, Karen McAllister. Lovely to see you all here. I can see your comments easily enough tonight. Let's hope it stays that way. Beckwood, hello. Julia, you're back. Hello, darling. And Rebecca Clinton, hello. Thank you very much and a big wave to you. Thank you all for your hearts. I send the love back to you. And Jackie Patterson, good evening, love. Nice to have you join me this evening too. If you are from some other part of WA or Australia or wherever you are in the world, please do let me know where you're coming in from. I like to know who I'm talking to or where I'm talking to you from around the world. Hi, Shelley Brewster. So, getting ready for you. Yes, New South Wales. Hi, Paul Anthony. Lovely to have you here. Cool, Jody Marie. Thanks for your patience. I'll wait for Spirit to come through and tell me, what's what and where to go. Oh, freezing in Melbourne. Well, I won't tell you, Katie B. I was sitting by the beach today and it was too hot. No, not complaining. Not at all. Central Coast, awesome. Esperance, hi Rose. Be nice down in Esperance Town, sunny Queensland. Mandahala Bear, nice to see you. Maria, hope you're feeling better, love. Good to see you here. Willow in Perth, hi. Carolyn in Ireland, hello to you. Thank you, Jackie. Jackie left some feedback for me. I did a reading for Jackie just recently, which was absolutely gorgeous. Tassie, Brisbane, Windsor. Janine Brody, Windsor in where? Lynn Marie, thank you very much for asking. I am very well. Upstate New York. Wow, how awesome. So, and from good old Victoria and Tassie, it's great, so great. So in getting ready to talk to you this evening, I was asking for the guidance of what it is that the angels and the divine, I'm glad to see that, Maria. Hi, Stephen. I was asking for what it is that the divine and the archangels of divine would like me to talk to you about this evening. And there was a couple of stories that came up. So I'm wondering if my ever-present darling girl is going to pop in that always causes a stir. Ray, let's see if you're going to be here for the stories tonight. And then we'll look at readings or insights for you. So for me to bring insights for you, please don't ask me questions. I don't need you to ask questions. Good evening, Beck K. Newbie here. Thank you for your appreciation, Beck. So I don't need you to ask me questions. In fact, if you ask me a question about a particular health issue or a relationship or a business, I won't answer you because I don't like to have any kind of information. I like for it to be extremely authentic and genuine, straight from Spirit. So the way that I'm able to see into you from here, hello Lola, the way I'm able to see into you and where Spirit will go is totally their choice. And then I can be guided inward to your life and inward to your physical body for whatever physical issues may be going on there. Carrie Burgess, I do love sunflowers. Thank you very much. And daisies. So let's see what they have to say for you. But before we get underway with your insights, I'm going to take a swoop around to each one of you, and I'm going to actually have a look in your homes. Oh, by the way, by you being here and the fact that you are conversing with me means that you have actually given me permission to do that. If you would prefer that I don't have a look into you, your life, your home, what's going on with you, then I suggest that you leave and see what's going on. So I'm going to take a little swoop around and have a look and see what is going on with all of you. And as I do that, I'm also going to clear and cleanse the energy of your respective homes. Now, the reason for that is because I can say to you straight off the bat that 10 of you that I'm looking at right now, your homes need a very good energetic cleanse. You know, when your home needs cleaning, so dusting, floors being done, vacuuming, it's like our car. We know when it needs to be done, right? But we often don't realize what energy is being carried in our home that could very well be impacting on our life, on our money, on our relationships, and in particular on our health. So as I look at 10 of you at the moment, I am going to do a beautiful big sweep through your homes and release a lot of stagnant energy. I'm going to come back to each one of you as well. Thank you, Amanda. I'm going to come back to each one of you as well. And also, I would ask you to share this live video so that there may be other people in your circles who are looking for guidance or who need somewhere to go, and you just never know that you could be helping a friend or a loved one without even realizing. So please do share this video. Now, when it comes to everything that is stagnant in your home, when you have got stagnant energy in your home, you will also have stagnation in your money flow. Now, as we know, there is some dreaded thing happening around the world that is causing all sorts of concerns and causing a lot of disruption. And with that, it's causing, thank you, Christine, Marie, Claire, and Lynn, thank you, and Kerry. It's causing a lot of disturbance in your homes because the topic of conversation is so constant. And because there is underlying uncertainty, it has created insecurity and a lot of fear. It's also created a lot of illnesses and conditions to be triggered in many people's bodies. Christy Mundy, welcome. So in cleansing the energy in your homes, then I'm going to... Gina, that's all right. Thank you, though. Thank you for the acknowledgement. In cleansing the energy for you, you're going to find you will sleep better tonight if it is nighttime for you. If it is your daytime, you will have a much more clear mind today, and you'll find that your day goes a lot smoother. So I'm going to come straight to the point with you and say that when you are cleaning your homes, you need also to make sure that you shift chairs and cushions and things around. Even if they're identical, you need to move them around. This is one way that you can stop energy from stagnating in your home, and that then stops it from stagnating in your life and causing blockages. Okay, so really important in there. The other thing is that whatever you are harboring in your energy fields in your home then goes into your own personal energy fields, and you take that out everywhere with you. So if you are great, Nadine, hello, so lovely to see you here, Nadine Campbell, everybody, but Nadine, we have something going on there. Hey, girl. So when you go out of your house, and you know, for those of you who are repeatedly putting on, can I have a reading? Can I have a reading? If you would allow Spirit to bring these messages to you, you're going to find that whatever they're bringing through in this talk with you just now is going to be very relevant for you and very helpful, more helpful than probably what you would get from a quick message. But we'll go ahead, right? So when you go out and about, you take all that energy from that stale, stagnant energy that's got all sorts of blocks and emotional blocks and things in it. You take that out with you when you go out. So then when you're out and about and you go out somewhere where there's a lot of other people that are carrying around perhaps anger, grief, resentment, bitterness, any kind of upset, even just having a really upset day, or pain in their physical body, that energy and your energy is going to collide. And when it collides, it will really knock the socks off you. And you will find that your day goes a whole lot worse than how it started out. So it's really, really important that you understand what you are carrying with you in your energy when you go out. And you make sure that you frequently cleanse your home and cleanse yourself. Now, we can use things like incense, you can use things like burning oils and things like that at home, right? It's not enough. It's just not enough. So if you have not actually done anything, that means that you have cleansed your energy, that you have done a complete restoration of your energy, your own personal energy, let alone your home. Burning a stick of incense, Palo Santo, frankincense, sandalwood, it's not enough, nowhere near enough. So you need to be able to understand what you're carrying with you and how to get rid of it. And you would get rid of it through very simple practices of looking at what you're thinking, what you're talking about, what kind of food you're eating. Your food actually affects your energy bodies tremendously. So if you're eating crappy food and you're eating, thank you, LeGray, thank you, and Samantha, if you're eating very dense foods and you're eating a lot of processed carbs and even a lot of the crappy carbs, which is rice, pasta, white potato, you're going to have a very dense and a very heavy energy. When you have that kind of energy, it is very hard for you to receive the guidance from your own personal guides and the guidance from your higher self, also from the angelic realm. If you are a person who talks to the universe, means you talk to anything that's out in the galaxy, then they can't get through properly. But what will get through is very misconstrued and absurd messages, and you will find yourself having a whole lot more difficulty. So in sweeping through you this evening while I sit with you and bringing to you a refresh of your energy and being able to clear everything out, you're going to find that your energy will be very different. You will be a lot more clear in your own self. You'll find too that you're able to make decisions with more ease. You know, when I see the numbers and how they duck around on the show, it always makes me laugh. Those who are truly interested in some guidance and really doing something with the guidance are those who will stay for the duration of the show, and I just love you to bits. Love you staying here. Thank you, Carrie. Always divinely guided in whatever the messages are, and they will always be appropriate. I'm trying to clear clutter, cleanse, making slow progress. Thank you, Amanda. Yeah, and that's exactly what I was saying, that you might be asking me over and over for a reading, but the fact is that the level that I work at and the guidance I receive is going to be what is most required for you, that's going to help you And you'll find too that you're not alone. There's so many people who can actually resonate with what it is that you're going through as well. Yes, Jackie. Get that double banger blower out and blast it all away. Thank you, Gina. So going through your home, decluttering and cleansing, and then decluttering you. You know, when you do a physical declutter, that is fantastic. That opens the way for new relationships, for good love, for better understanding in communication, for pay rises, for wonderful things to come your way. That's what you open the door for when you declutter your home and you cleanse your home and your car. If you're someone who spends a lot of time in your car needs to be decluttered and cleansed frequently. So thank you, Maria. Maria says the answers are flowing through your guidance. Thank you very much. So when you've done all that in your home, in the physical part of you, in your home environment, and if you work in an office, you must also do this in the office as well. So declutter your office area, your desk. You know, don't have a whole lot of garbage on your desk that you don't need. And if you're a paper shuffler, then you really need to have a look at what's going on in your life and what's not sitting well with you. Paper shuffling, procrastination, wasting time. So these things are all tremendous help. And then you must declutter yourself. So you declutter the blood that runs through your body. You declutter the oxygen that's running through your lungs. When you declutter your blood, you give your heart a chance to work properly. And when your heart's working properly, you can be more well. Now, when you're more well, you can think more clearly. You'll get less stressed. You will find that you can't be so easily upset and so easily stressed about things. You'll bounce through life when your heart is working better, when your blood is clean. Thank you, Michelle. When your oxygen levels are high. You know, if any of you have been for a job interview where you've had to oh, Annie, that's fantastic. Yes, see, it makes a huge difference. So if any of you have ever been for a job interview where you've then got to go and do an oxygen saturation test, or if you had bronchial issues and problems, if you've had, and this upset here in my throat now, that is belongs to one of you. So I'll be coming to you in a moment when Spirit's ready to be able to sort out what's going on. So if you've ever been through, a oxygen saturation exercise to see how well your body is able to take up oxygen and whether your lungs are working at full capacity, this is really a challenging thing. And if it's really poor, it means that your blood is also going to be very poor. You know, some of you may have heard, fantastic, Carrie, yes, that's the beginning. Now get into other things as well. And girls, remember to go through your makeup drawers. Remember to go through your jewelry, costume jewelry and things like that. A lady that I read for the other week told me that she got 175 scarves. She'd just been going through her drawers and things and couldn't believe herself that she had 175 scarves. And she says, do you think some of them need to go? I said, some of them, probably 98% of them. So yes, Maria, why am I not listening? She's saying the best thing. My soul is laughing as it knows this advice. Why am I not listening? Well, this is the trouble for the guides and the spirits and the angels and, whoever you engage with. That's their biggest issue is, why aren't you listening? Jess Lopez, good evening. Yeah. Thanks very much, Julia. You can have that back again. But this is actually This is not this kind of irritation. What is going on in my throat here is coming from a beautiful lady in spirit, and she is trying to work my voice box to be able to speak to you, but she's going to find out in a minute she's not allowed to do that. Oh, Rebecca, I'll tell her that. That's awesome. So the other thing about you decluttering your blood, cleansing your blood, being able to make sure that the oxygen that comes through your body is easily taken up and it's well utilized by your blood means that fear, anxiety, getting overstressed does not happen, because when you have got a very clear vessel, you've got a very clear blood supply and oxygen supply, you can think more sharply. You can be a lot more astute from your mind, but it's actually because you can connect with your higher self and with your guides with more ease, and they can get their messages through to you. If your body's weighed down and your blood's all cluggy and dirty, like dirty oil in a lawnmower, dirty oil in a car, it's very difficult for your guides to be able to get their guidance through to you. Now, I've read in some books, people that like to teach you how to connect and things, and they say that your physical body doesn't matter. Well, if you speak to a real shaman, a true born shaman, you wouldn't be able to do a ceremony with that shaman until you had totally cleansed your body, totally. And then to cleanse your mind. So cleaning your mind, how can you, Carrie Burgess, how can I tap into my guides? Well, you're in the right place. I've actually got a School of Wisdom if you would like to know more about that and you want to really know how to hear your guides, how to be able to receive their guidance, how to even channel their guidance, then you would want to come and join the School of Wisdom. Yes, Bet K, that's exactly right. Our physical body is the temple. It is the home of our soul. So however we're treating our temple is also showing how well we are either connected with our soul or we are not. We're out of balance. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you very much. So if we're not able to hold a clarity in our physical self through our blood, through the oxygen, through our thoughts, we are not going to be able to receive the guidance, but instead we're going to get swallowed up with fear, anxiety, worry, which then causes irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's disease, pleurisy, even some forms of bipolar, deep depression and things, they all relate back to where you're at in your physical self, which then relates to your emotional and mental self. There's so many facets to you. You're like a beautiful diamond. Lovely, Sonny, and I hope you found some beautiful things as you walked on that street. We really are like a magnificent diamond, and we have so many facets to ourselves, but when there is one facet that's all cloudy, or maybe it's got some, hairline cracks running through it, then the whole thing is out of balance. And it's so important to be able to, hello Erica, thank you. You'll always find that you end up where you're meant to when it comes to the show. If you're here for a reason. So let's get this physical self in top-notch condition. And I might tell you that being an athlete, being a weightlifter, a competitor like that, that is not top-notch condition. Surprised? It might look like they're in top-notch condition because you've been led to believe that a super muscly body or a super strong athlete or a tremendous hurdler or high jumper their body is in top-notch condition. It's actually quite the opposite. Because of the training that they endure, because of the things that they go through, their body is not in top-notch condition. And such a lot of them actually have a lot of emotional, mental issues, and a lot of them have very serious body issues, as well as conditions that appear afterwards. It's just having a balance is healthy. Yes, the body becomes very inflamed. Now, the divine or the archangels that I work with, and particularly when it comes to health, Archangel Ariel has a lot to say around these things because he works with the humans in the world realm, the 3D realm. But of course, everyone knows that Archangel Raphael is who you would call upon for actual healing. Well, Jesus also is actually your lead of healing, but Archangel Ariel also does a lot with healing light. So it's Ariel that is bringing a lot of this guidance to you this evening. And Archangel Ariel says that because the world is so troubled and mankind is so very troubled at the moment, coming back to honoring the gift of your life, coming back to honoring your physical self that you have been bestowed with, is the way that you're going to be able to navigate your way through all the disturbance that is around presently. So being able to focus on cleansing your blood, clearing your blood. You know, one of the beautiful gentlemen that came into my center, and some of you will know this story, when he came into my center one night, he had gone grey again after we... Oh, that's beautiful, Stephen. Ariel is just the most... Well, they're all gorgeous, but Ariel has got an awesome... Sarah asking what services do I offer. I'll answer you that in just a moment when Ariel's finished this little spiel. So being able to bring yourself back to a place of honoring everything that you have been granted through cleansing, through decluttering, is going to be your way of making sure that you're able to maintain a happy, balanced, a harmonious life and an aligned life. And it's so very important. Yeah, Julia, he's mighty powerful, Saint Christopher as well. So I just want to answer Sarah. She asked what services do I offer. So I offer channeled guidance. I'm a full natural born channel, healing, divine healing light. So a healing session where the divine light is brought in, and you either come to me in person or you come over Zoom or over the phone. Same as when you sit with me here, I can reach you with the healing light, divine healing light, which is simply beautiful. And I will say to you that as you sit with me in this show right now, you are actually receiving healing light. This is part of the joy that I have when I sit with you on these Tuesday evenings, that to bring through divine healing light. The other services that I offer are in spiritual and holistic wellness mentoring. So, Jane, I'm in Perth, Western Australia, and I work with people all over the world. So, the mentoring that I do is either personal, but I only take a select amount of people across the year for personal mentoring, and also my group mentoring. My favourite part of all the work is the School of Wesh, which is wisdom, enlightenment and self-healing, and that is a 12-month commitment to your spiritual path of evolution, spiritual growth. So there you go, holistic wellness as also spiritual growth. Archangel Michael, Shelley, yes, he's pretty cool, isn't he? Oh, Sonny, that's beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you, Legray. Really appreciate that as well. So let's have a look at what is going on around you directly, and also be able to connect you. Thank you, Elizabeth. That's beautiful. Thanks, Michelle. Oh, Jess. Goodness me, trying to get out of here. I told you before, if I can't go, no, neither can you. So you're here to stay the long haul. If I've got to stay the long haul, you can stay too. Diane, good evening to you. Lovely to see you here too. So one thing that I do want to talk to you about as well is about our loved ones and our pets. For those of you who don't know, I communicate with pets as well as humans or as living beings. So when our loved ones and our pets go, you know, it's extremely heartbreaking. There is no doubt about it. And one thing that I want to, one story that was, they asked me to share. Yes, Jess, that's right. Is many years ago, yeah, Nadine, and that's going to be a journey, love. It's not going to be, let's sit around the table and have a chat. It's actually going to be a journey. So Nadine Campbell is saying that her dad's looking at moving back to Australia, and she feels it's a good time for us all to cleanse our souls and physical vessels and move forward together. So when I'm talking to you about, you know, cleansing, decluttering, clearing your home space, your car space, and then your physical self, don't for one moment think that it's something like doing the dishes or reading a book and you can just go, well, there you go, that's done and I'm all sorted, because it's simply not. I mentioned that we are like a diamond and we have many facets. Well, good evening, Sharon Smith. Great surname, so uncommon. So being able to cleanse your energy fields and cleansing your home, it isn't like reading a book. It's not like going for a ride on a bike. It actually takes effort and it takes time, because you've accumulated such a lot over the period of your life. And if, for example, you decide, well, this seems like a pretty good time to be letting go of things and, turning over a new leaf, making that New Year's resolution. Maybe you even get to your birthday and go, well, to hell with it. For this birthday, I'm going to make a resolution for myself. And then you fall off the trolley and you wonder why. You fall off, the wheels fall off, and the whole thing runs off in the bush. It is a process. And here's the real kicker. Everyone goes, oh, really? It's a life process, because there's not just you. You are energetically connected to so many other people, which means you're also energetically connected to everything that they're carrying. Oh, I shouldn't laugh, should I? No. But it's the way that people view this as being something that you just do and you can tick it off and say it's done. It just doesn't happen like that. So if you are going to go through the process of being able to truly cleanse, release, and have that deeper contact with yourself, then you really need to be able to understand it's going to be like polishing every single facet and point of a diamond. And like, that's right, Jess. If only things were that easy. We are not an easy being because of the way that we've been conditioned to be. If we were able to arrive here and just let our life unfold and allow ourselves to be as we're going to be, then that's a beautiful diamond, Beck K. Then we would achieve nothing here, because then we would be looking at a life of perfection, and that's not what we're here for. We're here for those dig your heels in moments, for those fly to the moon moments and crash and burn, and then, get up and dust yourself off and go again. One of the things that is missing with a lot of people at the moment is their inability to be resilient and, most of all, to laugh at themselves. Yes, Shelley, diamond in the rough. That's absolutely beautiful. Diamond after being. Yeah, amazing, amazing. So I'll see if we can find those puppy dogs for you. Brad Crack, I've seen your messages, but you obviously have come in late and not seen how this show works. So, turn and disconnect to others' energy data. Is this enough? Reiki shower and intention to disconnect from others' energy. Is this enough? Thanks for saying that. Thanks, Amanda. Most often, no, it's not enough, because energy is forever moving. Energy is constant, and you're forever walking into other people's energies, let alone what you have taken up and absorbed in yourself. So you really need to be more astute with your energy. Hence those practices, Maria, and doing the practices in the School of Wisdom. They are not something that you just do like you're reading a book, you know. There's something that are really necessary for you to continue doing all the time. So let's have a look here and see what else Spirit has. Now, talking about the gentleman that came into my centre, my health and wellness centre, and I took one look at him, and for the second time of him being in the centre over a period of time, I thought, CPR, where's my phone? And I hope they get here soon enough. Go, Julia. And I get a little pin and pop it. So he came in this night and he was very grey. He was very unwell. So I asked him to sit down to believe in protection. Yes, KDB, absolutely, but I can go into that a lot more. So he came in to the centre, and I knew right away that we could have run into a whole lot of trouble with him. So I sat him down on a fit ball and I placed my healing hand on his back. And I spoke to him very quietly, good evening, Jen Chalmers. And I said to him, we're not going to do anything tonight, because what I want you to do is I want you to let me ring someone for you, and we're going to send you straight to the doctors. And he said, I'll take myself. And I said, well, I don't think you will. So the way that it worked was that I got him off to his doctors. I didn't hear from him for a couple of days. Then he rang me, and he rang me from his hospital bed, and he rang me to say thank you for saving my life, which was very, very kind of him. So it is really important to be able to connect with your physical self. You see, when I looked at him, I saw that his blood was thicker than treacle, and it wasn't running in his body. So his heart was suffocating, and so was his whole body. And I asked him to go to his doctor and tell his doctor that the Disprin was not working, that his blood was too thick. So he rang me 2 days later to say thank you. And he also said, how did you know that my blood wasn't running? How did you know? Thank you, Karen McAllister. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. How did you know my blood wasn't running? And I said, oh, just nurse, you know, having been a nurse all those years, you don't forget things. And he said, no, I think there's something really different about you. You couldn't possibly have known that. And even the doctors wanted to know how come you were able to say that, and for me not to take the Disprin wasn't working. So he got well, and he turned out absolutely wonderful, and returned himself to good health through the guidance. So you see, when I look in and I can see what's going on, and the person listens and takes on the guidance, that's where the miracles happen. That's where everything changes. So it's really important that when I come to you this evening and I bring through the messages from your guides, that you take heed of what they're saying and you really honor them by listening and then acting on what they're asking. He would not have been alive today if it wasn't for that, and that's his acknowledgement as well. Then there was a lady when I was a master personal trainer in a gym, and most people don't recognize me out on the street, and that's for good reason. So I came down the stairs of the gym this particular day, having finished with a client. Oh, Julia, thank you. So I came down the stairs on this night, and a lady spotted me, and she shouted out across the floor, "I was bringing a shotgun to shoot you." And everybody looked around to see who on earth she was talking to. The gym was really busy. And I didn't pay any heed. Just sort of come down the stairs, heard her, didn't take too much notice. And then she rushed at me and she said, "Yes, you. I was coming to shoot you, to bring the shotgun and shoot you." And I said, "I'm sorry, do I know you?" And she went off her face and she said, "Yes, you should know me. I kept saying to you that my baby this and my baby that, and you kept saying that the angels would take care of my baby. And when I asked you about the colour of the nursery that we were going to do for the baby, you again said the angels will look after your baby." And she said, "And then when I was leaving your house, even at the door, I asked you again and told you something about my baby, and you just looked at me and said the same thing." And then 2 months later, she had to deliver her stillborn baby. So she wanted someone to blame. And you see, she did not accept the messages, as hard as they were. They are never put in a way that causes distress. That is not the job of the angels or the guides. It's always to bring guidance. Hi, Wendy Harvey. So she decided when her baby was stillborn that she needed someone to take it out on. And because I had repeatedly said to her, channeled to her, that the angels would... oh, interesting. Not frozen from this end, people. It's not frozen at all. It's still going beautifully this end. So let me know when it's back on again. Wow, that's really interesting because it's not frozen from this end. Still going, yes, frozen. Wow. Can you hear me though? Can you hear me if your video is frozen? Can you still hear me? Thanks, LeGray. Yes, Samantha Freaky. It is. Back on. Yeah, the funny thing is, Gina, it didn't stop on this end. So that's really interesting. Yeah, Nadine, back and front. So, got us? Yeah. It is very odd, Michelle, because it didn't freeze here at all. And yet several of you, how bizarre is that? So, did you get the end? Thanks, Stephen. Did you get the end of the story of the lady who was going to shoot me with a shotgun? And that was because when she wanted to know about her baby, the angels were repeatedly letting her know that they were going to be taking care of her baby. And that was their very gentle way of letting her know that baby wasn't going to make it through to this world. So, you know, it's really, oh, thanks, Amanda. it's really important, for your own peace of mind and your own heart, that when you reach out for guidance, and a bit like that, Wendy, maybe I got off my broom, on my broom. When you reach out for guidance, that you listen very carefully, because they don't get it wrong. If you're with someone who really knows what they're doing, they don't get it wrong. It is, thanks, LeGray, it is always your interpretation that creates the, creates the difficulties, because quite often you will have in mind what answers you want. You will have in mind what it is you think is most important, but that's not what is actually the greatest of benefit for you in your life at the time. And this is the thing that can help you most. So let's have a look at at Elizabeth Powell. So Elizabeth Powell, when you get to August of this year, which thankfully is still a few months away, August is going to be like a bumpy plane ride for you, Elizabeth Powell. August is the beginning of crossroads for you. And crossroads are a very challenging time. They're a time where you'll find you can't make decisions. Money just seems to stagnate. Nothing seems to work. You're going to have to hold tight to that rocky plane ride, and that's really what it's going to feel like. And it's going to last for 3 months. So it's going to go through August, September, October. When you come out the other end at the beginning of November, you'll feel like you've been dragged through a briar patch, run over by a truck and put in a spin machine. But dust yourself off, get up and go forward, and don't stop. So in other words, don't do your usual of looking back. Keep looking forward and keep going. So yes, Julia, baby was stillborn, and that's what the angels were letting her know, that baby wasn't going to be arriving into this world. So yeah. And this happens. It is terribly, terribly sad to give birth to a stillborn baby, or have them arrive perfectly normal and then they depart. It is horrendous. But on a soul level, you've got to be able to understand, or try and understand, that there's something greater at play. And I do understand, having been through almost dying myself at 40, understand what it is like very much. Samantha Crack, in having a look at you, you have got a lot of undispersed fluid in your knees, and this comes into both knees for you. And then what you get is a lot of pain down the shins and also into the ankles. So quite often the thinking is that there is something wrong with the shin bones, or that there is some kind of ligament issue, tendon issue in the ankle, and it's not at all. It is that you get this pent-up fluid in the bursa of the knee, at the back of the knee, and the body is really slow to be able to disperse it. So as it's going through that, and it's causing other problems with circulation and back to blood and things through the legs, you're actually feeling what would be referred to as referred pain in your ankles and shin bones, and that's what the problem is. So if you were very, very careful to massage very gently the back of your knees and around the front of your knees, always coming up towards the heart, then you'll find that that issue in your shins and in your ankles would go away. So with Katie B, no. Well, Amanda, I hope you had a nice time in there and you got back out, because you should be. You're meant to be, you're actually meant to be walking quite free of all that spin and bush and everything else just now. Goodness me, now the messages are going so fast. Thanks, Erica. That was good thinking. Skipping across to the mobile. Lynn Marie Williams. Lynn Marie, there is the sound of music. There is the sound of a beautiful guitar that's actually being played from spirit for you. Now this is representative of your call out for help from loved ones in heaven, you're being answered. But it is also about you needing to be able to bring more music into your life. Now, a number of you will say, oh, wow, I could do with that too. Because when you bring music into your life, it's not necessarily about you having to go and turn the radio on or turn the radio up. Music in your life, there are the Muses. Have you heard of the Muses? And they are the most beautiful angels of creativity. And they do music and arts and poetry and everything that is around creativity. So when we say that you need more music in your life, this can actually be anything that is from the creative arts, anything that lights you up and gives you a little bit of space to be able to sit in your own energy, in your own heart space even. So, reading a book and really getting lost in the book is a way of bringing music into your life. Doing some pottery, doing some sort of painting, doing potting plants and things like that. This is all bringing music into your life. So it's really important for you to be able to do that. And anyone else who resonates with that, then that message will be for you also. Yes, Michelle Morris, sewing. Anything that is creative and lifts you and makes you feel good and makes you feel like you've accomplished something at the end of the day. This is bringing music into your life. You might even like to just write stories, write about the day you've had, and you'll be amazed at how good you'll feel when you've done that. So bringing yourself back to having music in your life. Renee Bartlett, you're in your own way. Your situation could have changed 3 times by now, but you're the one who keeps procrastinating and you keep looking over your shoulder. So instead of making a definitive response, a definitive answer on what it is that you want, you keep second guessing and procrastinating. So your situation will change as soon as you stop stuffing around and get out of your own way. That's lovely, Paula. Your arts and crafts are so good for you. Yes, Karen McAllister, beautiful. So being able to transform anything and transmute anything in your life means, first up and foremost, you need to be able to get out of the way. So many people tell me they want to be well. So many people tell me that they're tired of being sick, but that's what they focus on. And that's all that their conversation and their focus is, instead of making a move, stepping aside and letting your guides help you. Yes, Lynn Marie, that was all for you, the bringing music into your life. So it's really important that you work on, we're back to their message about your own energy and what is in it, your own thoughts, your own way of living in your temple. So if you want something to change, then you've got to change yourself. Nothing is going to change. And did you all know that your guides and your guardians and your loved ones and the archangels and the angels, they can't do anything in making you make your decision. They're not allowed. They can offer you guidance. And Lord above, don't you give them headaches. They can offer you guidance. They can give you so much help. But when you just won't receive it, when you want to keep banging your head against the wall and going in the opposite direction, they cannot make the decision for you. Yes, that's right, Shelley. Only you are responsible for your own health and your life. And when you want to keep reaching out, like an example of Ray Louise, you are so late. Don't tell me you've been on the phone. Someone's ringing up. Yes, Alicia. They would need lots of regular head massages. Yep, that's Becky. That's one of my favourite lines I use. So, yeah, free will gets you into a whole lot of trouble, Stephen. And I did ask the divine about that. I said, you must have an awesome sense of humour to have given humans free will and the right of choice. Not only do you get free will, but you get the right of choice. Good Lord, how much more do you want? And then when you get all that, you make a mess. And you make the mess, then you want someone else to fix it. So then you reach out all the time to the guides, the guardians or whatever, but you still don't take the mechanic's advice. What's up with that? That's really. Chardy Elise, hello, any guidance? Don't usually answer those questions because it's very well to accept guidance. Well, yeah, and that's what gets us in the way, Maria. So being ahead for me and things have changed so much recently. Let's see. Oh, yes, I know, LeGray. How fancy are we? We're so fancy we make one hell of a mess. What do you mean you thought I wasn't coming? I'm always here, Ray Louise. Yes, Julia, we do inherit traits, but we don't have to have them. I call inheritance is just a little stamp, a little gift from a family member, but we don't have to have it. We can change anything. Anything. You can even go back into family lineage and cut all the stuff, all the cords that don't belong, the things that you don't want in your life. Michelle Morris, your dad, pops in and out and in and around, but he's not the only one. There's another man that also comes and spends a fair bit of time with you, and he was quite nasally in his way of talking, can't get it stuck back there in his throat, and also quite a big drag on a cigarette. So that's who's around you, Michelle Morris. There is, well, Ray Louise, I think you might have officially lost your marbles because as far as I know, it's Tuesday. And as far as I know, I'm always here on a Tuesday. Yes, LeGray, that's exactly right. You do need, thanks, Michelle Morris, your grandpa. That's right. Needed you to pick it, not me. See, I don't give the answers all the time because that just makes people lazy, make you work for what you want. So, here's Alicia. There is some beautiful visions here for all of you. Now, we're going to say to you, and how can it be that it's for all of you? Well, the reason it can be for all of you is because there's one thing that Archangel Ariel, who has been present with me all night tonight, is saying. The biggest thing that you're all looking for is happiness in your life. The biggest thing you're all looking for is to feel as if your life is worth it. And I don't know what I'm doing here. And I'm spinning around like a spinning top. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. That's a comment he says comes from 90% of you. I don't know where I'm at. So thank you, Karen McAllister. That's lovely. So when you allow yourself to receive the guidance, you then receive your happiness that comes from within. If you are continually looking external to yourself for happiness, for love, for money, well, it's going to be a damn hard ride in this life. Damn hard. And you're going to end up not going sideways like me into that box going, woo, what a ride. You're going to go in there going, oh my God, I wish I'd known that. Oh my God, I wish I didn't do that. Oh no, not this black duck. No, I'm going to go sideways in going, what the hell of a ride that was. Oops, that was the wrong word. And see you later. See you next time. Right? So you make the choice. Oh, that's beautiful, Ray Louise. You make the choice as to how you're going to go about happiness and how you're going to go about using that free will and that right of choice. And on that note, it is time for me to say good night. So thank you for joining me. Please listen carefully to the messages that came through this evening and take very good care of yourselves. And I look forward to seeing you all you all, Ray Louise, yes, and Jess Lopez, my girls that sit up the back corner there. I look forward to seeing you again next week. God bless everyone. Have a wonderful evening. Take good care. Bye. Yes, I should think so, Ray Louise. And Nadine, yes, love, please do join me anytime. Good night. Thank you.